Okay. Okay, so let me introduce you to my guest of today. She is fun, unique in her own special way. Next to her career as a hip-hop star, she is showing you possibilities so you can reach far. If you don't want to keep your brilliance a secret no more, she is the one online you really can't ignore. Brandy Morris is her name. Please say hello to Brandy on the Nightly Show.
Woohoo!
Hello, Brandy.
You have mad skills. I'm really impressed.
My first time.
You did great.
Oh, great. Did you like the introduction?
I loved it. It's my best introduction ever.
Oh, great. So, Brandy, you love hip hop. I saw the rap on your site and I was like, I need to do that. What was the best hip hop show you ever went to?
Oh my goodness. That's a really tough question. I'm going to say J. Rue the Damager. Just because he's an iconic legend and he did a lot of like call and answer and was really there and present with the crowd. Mm-hmm. And I think any good hip hop show, that's where I really love, is when they're really present with you.
Are you going often?
Oh, I go to quite a few hip hop shows, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, but you infused hip hop with your entire brand?
Yeah, I did, because I think that hip hop really represents what I try to teach people to do, which is kind of like have your mad flavor and be brilliant. And there's a lot of confidence in hip hop. And I just really like to bring those out in my teachings.
Great. So that brings me to the question, what do you do? You are a possibility scout. So can you explain what exactly it is that you do?
Certainly. So yeah, I call myself the Brilliance Instigator and Possibility Scout. Basically the idea being that every single person is brilliant. Mm-hmm. And when you're a service providing solopreneur, who is who I mostly work with, you need to be aware of your brilliance so that you can bring it out into the world and have your perfect people come to you. So what I do is I help people get really confident in who they are and how they serve so that they can share that with people and call the most perfect people in.
Okay. So I saw on your site that you help people find the thing that they are most, not embarrassed, but they're like, I can share that on my site. And you want to help them find that and bring it out? Is it something like that?
Kind of, yeah. I think it's about sometimes people are nervous about sharing certain aspects of themselves that speak to what they do. Not everything needs to be shared, you know. I'm very multifaceted. I like all kinds of music. I chose hip hop because it really meshes with the things that I like to talk to people about. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes people are like, well, I have this unique perspective using something that I really care about, but I'm sure no one will be interested. People tell me all the time that no one's going to care or want to hear me say yo or whatever it is, that they're not going to take me seriously, but people take me seriously. So I'm finding those people and weeding them out as I go.
So can you give me another example? So you are with hip hop. Can you give me an example of a client you have with a total unique flavor?
Well,
flavor? You call it the flavor, right?
Flavor. Yeah.
Okay.
Flavor. Yes. So, not necessarily a client, I won't say, but this girl, Kara Martin Snyder, who is amazing, she calls herself the Poo Whisperer. And she is a health coach. The Poo Whisperer.
Okay.
And she is a health coach. And she talks to a lot of ladies about their bowel movements because it's very telling about their health. And she was really afraid to like kind of, you know, talk to people about shit all day and like say that that's the thing she does. But she does it and she embraces it. And she's got like toilet graphics and it's just hilarious. And it's worked so well to bring her people who are comfortable talking about what they need to talk about.
Wow, the Poo Whisperer. Deep respect. I don't know if I had the courage to call myself that online.
Well, yeah, I think it depends on who you are and what's important to you and what you want to be talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So next to hip hop, what is another thing that plays a big role in your business or in your life? I see a lot of pictures of your nephews.
Yes. Yes, I have 3 nephews and a niece. One of my nephews comes over almost every weekend, and his name's Patrick, and he's just constantly hilarious. So I figure I might as well mine some of that comedic brilliance. So I love doing like nephew talk posts and kind of quoting him all the time. Friday, it was minus 18 Celsius here in Toronto. So I came home from work and I saw him, and apparently he really likes cold. So he was cuddling my arm and he was really into cuddling me. And then the next day when I woke up, he's like, "Today is all cuddles all day." I am not going to fight that.
No. And he is 7 or 8?
Yeah, he's 7.
7, yeah. I have, my daughter is 4. And when she wants to cuddle, I'm like, "Yes, please come." Because my sons don't want to cuddle no more. They're like big and tough. And so when my daughter wants to cuddle, I'm like, "Yes, I have to bribe my oldest son, he's 14, to give me a kiss." I was bringing him to school. He was like, "Thank you, Mom. Give me a handshake." Like, "Thank you."
How very formal.
So, yeah, I'm in a bit of trouble.
Yes.
Hey, Brandy, how did you find out that the Possibility Scout is the thing that you wanted to be?
Oh, okay. So that's quite a story. I worked in, my career was a lot of customer service, from bartending to call centers. I'd say I grew up in my career doing hospitality. So I worked for a big hotel, and I started at front desk, and then I started doing a lot of things related to the brand. So living the brand culture, serving in the way that speaks to the brand values. So I trained. I was kind of they called me on-brand Brandy, because I had to check to make sure that what we were doing was on brand with the hotel's values. So I was the brand champion. So with the name like Brandy, it was too much. But I fell in love with that. But during that time as a leader, and then doing some other jobs that I had, the one-on-one interaction and motivating people and inspiring them was really, really important to me. So there came a point in my career, I was working in a call center. I was like the director, doing a lot of leadership development, and I just loved it. And I said, "That's it. I want to be a life coach." So I decided to be a life coach. I studied coaching, and then I was like, "Oh wait, no, I don't want to be a life coach." I love one-on-one. I love inspiring people, but I miss talking about business and customer service. So that's when I kind of brought back that into the world and kind of married the two together.
Okay. So, and when you got started, you have your life coach diploma, degree, how do you call that?
Yes.
Your life coach, yeah, you know what I mean. And then you decided you don't want to be a life coach anymore, but how did you bridge the two or started your business?
Well, basically, it was about figuring out, and this is what I do with other people, taking all my sweet spots and creating the perfect offering where people get the best work of me, and I'm able to create the most change for people. So I use coaching as a tool. So I don't necessarily consider myself a coach per se. I like, if you're going to put two words together, we'll say coach-sultant, right? So I like to give advice with my knowledge of customer service and using service as a branding tool. And then I also like to use coaching and helping people see themselves as the amazing, brilliant people they are, and put those together so that people can put out their best work.
Okay. Hey, yeah. And you were talking about your sweet spot. So yes. How do people can find their sweet spot? I see it a lot of times. I did the exercises, sweet spot. But I wonder, how do you do it?
Well, that's where I bring in the brilliance idea, okay? So brilliance is really about 3 things. So it's about know-how. So problems you can solve and things that you know how to do. So using my skills of coaching and customer service. And then you've got experience. And experience sounds similar to know-how, but it's not. So a lot of people come out of coaching school and they're going to do a group coaching program because that's what everyone does, right? But if you haven't done the work, you're basically regurgitating the stuff that you learned in coaching school. So it's not very exciting, right? So using life experience, my love for hip hop, my background in hotels, all of those things combined create my experience so that I have a unique perspective. I'm not just parroting what other people say. I've thought about it, I've worked with it, and I've created my own way of explaining it.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last piece is flavor, which is my favorite, but it's not the most important. I think that we have to have, the know-how and the experience have to come before the mad flavor, or else we're just kind of like, look how pretty everything is. It doesn't do anything, but it's really pretty.
Yeah.
And that's the voice you're using when you're talking to people, and the colors and everything that you do visually as well.
This is the Brandy experience.
The Brandy experience, or the Navarre experience. Everyone's got their way, right?
Yeah. But experience is big for you, right? Because you help people create or give customers their best experiences. So yes. They come back. so
they come back.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's easy to do something that you've seen someone else do. Mm-hmm. You think it's easy. It's not. And then you're also not doing it your way, so it doesn't come across very well. So by coming up with a way, and that's what I mean by, service through branding, is that you have that vibe and that way of doing things that when people experience your brand and the way that you serve, they know instantly that it's you.
Yeah.
So everything from, the confirmations that people get from a scheduler to documents post-session, it's all branded in a way and written in a way that really comes across as the person that's writing it, rather than just like, this is everyone's template that they're using.
Yeah.
Make it special and exciting.
Yeah. I think it's a bit, because I was struggling with that also. I love to be a bit different. But when all people are doing the same thing, you're like, can I be a bit different? Because everyone is doing the same thing and it's kind of working for them. So if I'm being different, will it work for me?
Right.
It's like... Yeah?
No,
Sorry,
go ahead.
You go first. Okay. You are the guest.
There's a difference trap, right? Like, so some people think that to be different, you need to look at what everyone else is doing and then try to be different. And that doesn't necessarily work either, because then it's like, well, I'm just trying to be contrary, so I stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
But is that your best work? So just knowing what works best for you. And yes, of course, there's going to be things that you're going to experience with other people and it's going to inspire you. But just doing the things that work best for you and understanding why you're doing them will create that difference on its own.
I think being true to yourself. Because when I was trying to be, the cookie mold, how do you call it?
Yeah.
The cookie. When I tried to be the cookie, it wasn't working for me. So I had to bring my own ingredients and bake my own cookie.
I'm now picturing a gingerbread woman with stilettos on.
Oh my God! I don't know if it's coming across good in English.
It is. It is.
Oh God! Yeah. Okay. So I hope you understand what I mean.
I totally understand.
Oh, cool. But I think a lot of people struggle with it. I did a lot of marketing and branding courses online, and it had took me a while to find, like, okay, knivery, stick with knivery. It's okay to. I've learned a lot from all these people, but I had to stick with knivery and take a little bit of that, and take a little bit of that, and create my own knivery experience. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you owned that and kind of like just made it yours. Yeah. It's so important. And I think, just like I said, understanding why you're doing things. So some people think like you can't have a business unless you have a thriving email list. Mm-hmm. But is it about a thriving email list, or is it about having an audience of people who can hear what you say?
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be via email. It can be something else, but you just need to know what the fundamentals of business are. Like, people need to know that you exist, and you need to have a way to invite people in, and then you can figure out how you want to do that. For me, I focus on the more what happens after that sale is made, and then how that comes across.
So you do two things then? You focus after the sale and before the sale, or
before the sale we touch on, but I don't consider myself a marketing person. I am very much about the service experience of working with you. So once you've said, yes, I want to be your client, how does that feel? What happens? What expectations are you setting? How does the experience of working with you feel when they walk away?
I love that. Great.
It's important. We forget about that. We're like, let's go to you drive towards the PayPal, but what happens after the PayPal?
Yeah.
Because that's like, your sales page is great, but people are going to believe what other people who've worked with you say way more than they're going to believe that sales page.
A sales page, and not everyone is writing their own sales pages. So some sales pages are great, and then you talk to the person or do the course and think, did you write your own sales page?
Right. Or, it's just like movies, right? Where it's like, best movie of 2014. Yeah. Well, it's January, so I don't really buy that. So, people get really excited, or they try to emulate someone that they're not. So they're all rah, rah, rah. And then you talk to them, they're like, hello, it's very nice to speak to you. Right? Yeah. So it's being able to match that vibe that you created and the promise that you made before you took their money.
Hey, Brandy, hip hop inspires you. What else? What do you get inspired by?
Oh my goodness, so much. I'm constantly inspired by the network of people that I've met in Facebook groups, like you. People are constantly I feel like we're so lucky to be surrounded by really smart, amazing people who are trying to make an impact in this world. I've got my accountability buddies that I talk to on a weekly basis, reading things all the time and having deep conversations rather than just like focusing so much on just tunnel vision and experiencing more than just business. So like, listening to hip hop sometimes or, reading a fashion magazine, whatever it is, just doing something fun that inspires you.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is a quote you live by? Do you have a quote you live by?
Do I have a quote I live by? I have my quote that I live by.
Oh, tell me.
Which is don't mistake your brilliance for common sense. And it's because it's something that I don't just say, it's something I need to be reminded of constantly myself. We all need that reminder of understanding that just because we experience ourselves and we've kind of gotten used to our knowledge, to other people it can be mind-blowing.
Oh. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Ever have feeling stuck or doubt yourself?
Oh no, I'm superhuman, so I don't suffer from that. No, I definitely have doubted myself and my business and, thought I should just throw in the towel and give up. And I've run the whole gamut of emotions.
So how do you deal with it?
Well, there's a few things I do. I love just like asking myself how true that really is. I love looking back at the last time I felt really good about my work. Reading testimonials from people that I've worked with before. And sometimes I just need to call in the troops and ask one of my accountability buddies or good friends to just break it down for me, because I can't do it myself.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's like I have a Why I'm Hot book.
Yeah, I like that.
A book, so Why I'm Hot, and it's like exactly what you said: testimonials and good things that I did, and times that I felt afraid, but take the leap anyway. So I will read that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why I'm hot.
Right.
Yeah. So,
it's so easy to forget, right?
Yeah. Because you work alone, and it's a lot of business that you forget about other things. There are more people in the world.
Right. Or that really well-written sales page that you're like, Mine's not as good as that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Superhuman Brandy. So you have Brandy the superwoman and Brandy the experience. Woo! I see a t-shirt line coming up. A new business.
I
And
love
you're
it.
talking about accountability partners.
Yes.
So how important is accountability for you?
It's huge for me. I've realized that because like my main thing is interacting with people. I chose this business because I love interacting with people, which is great when I'm in a client session. But what about all that other stuff that has to happen before you're in a client session where you feel alone? And that's kind of why, I have my partner implementation clients and why I need my accountability buddies who I touch base with. Like I've got one person that I speak to every Monday morning and we kind of kick off our week together. And we talk about where we're stuck and what would help propel us into the next week. And then I've got other friends where, we talk once a month and we connect and we just figure out how we can support each other each month.
Okay, so you have 2 accountability partners?
Yes.
So if you would look for another one, what were the traits you will go? No, I'm asking because I have accountability partners also, so I know how important they are. But if you would be looking for a new accountability partner, what would you be looking for? What kind of person?
Well, I think someone who can drive you in the ways that you can't always drive yourself. There's some things about my accountability partners that are very similar to me, so they kind of smack me down in the ways that I would normally help other people that I can't give myself that, right? And then having some complementary, personality styles where we're not just gonna like fall down the rabbit hole together. We can pull each other out, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it's about just I think it's really about setting those clear expectations so that you know what you're trying to get out of it and have it work for each other.
Great. What is the best advice that you ever gotten in your life, and from who was it?
Ooh, I've gotten a lot of advice, a lot of great advice. But I had this old boss, and her name was Niaz, and she was hilarious and brilliant and wise, and I loved working for her. And she would always say, speak up or people will think you have nothing to say. So in a lot of meetings and stuff, I'd get really quiet and I wouldn't say anything because I didn't think my contribution was important because I was new or I was younger than everyone else in the room. And then after the meeting, I'd go, and I'd say all these ideas I had. And she'd be like, why didn't you say that in the meeting? And she's like, how can I keep telling my boss that you're smart if you never show him in the meeting?
Yeah.
So speak up because people will think you have nothing to say.
So, and how do you translate that to your business?
Well, I really have been practicing speaking up more and more. So I'm actually starting a new YouTube show myself called Hustle and Serve. Yes, and I'm doing a lot of speaking up coming at you very soon. And just when I have something to say, I really practice just speaking from my heart rather than worrying about whether or not people are going to judge me for it or agree or anything else. I know that the people who need to hear it will hear it and hear it well.
Great.
Yeah.
What book do you have on your nightstand right now?
On my nightstand right now, I'm going to show you. It's Dorothy Parker, Affordable Dorothy Parker. So she is, just a wit from way back in the day. And I love it because she wrote so long ago all these short stories and essays, and they're still so relevant right now. So I just love reading them. She's just wild and kooky and says hilarious things.
And what is it about? Is it different essays or different subjects?
Yeah, it's a whole collection of short stories.
Oh, okay.
Just very.
Didn't know that one yet. Hey, what in the world would you like to meet? And what is the one question you would like to ask them?
Ooh, that is a good question. Who would I like to meet? I think I'd like to meet Jay Smooth and just ask him to tell me the craziest story from an interview he's had interviewing someone about hip hop.
Jay Smooth?
He's like a radio personality.
Ah, okay. I was already going to Google. I was like, I will keep talking because I want to Google Jay Smooth to see who he is.
No, I'll show you later.
Okay. Oh, great, Brandy. I love this interview already. We already finished. Almost finished. What question did I didn't ask you, but I should have asked you today?
Oh my goodness, your questions are great. If I would love to answer one question, it would be, what is my favorite hip hop song of all time?
What's your favorite hip hop song of all time?
And I would tell you I can't answer because it changes every day.
Really? No, yes. You have to give me one.
One?
Yeah, one.
You Know Who You Are by Odyssey.
You Know Who You Are by Odyssey.
By Odyssey.
Okay, so you know my husband is a DJ, right?
Okay.
I'm going to him with this song.
Okay.
So
it's a pretty chill song.
I will let you know what he said.
Okay.
Because I need to Google this one also. I don't know that. But it's okay. I will Google later. Hey, Brandy, thank you so much for this interview. Where can we find more about you?
Well, my website is a great place, and it's Brandy with a Y, Morris.com.
And you, social media? Can you find you on social media, Facebook or Twitter?
Social media? Yes, I am on Facebook. I have a group called Served Fresh. So people, if they want to come hang out with me there, they can. And then my new YouTube show is called Hustle and Serve.
Hustle so you can check that out. When will Hustle and Serve be live or online?
Next week.
Woo! Yay! Thank you so much, Brandy. I had fun. I hope you too.
I definitely had fun. We always have fun together, don't we?
Yeah, we always have fun. That's why I love to interview you. Thank you so much, and I wish you a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching my web show. Did you like it? Subscribe to my channel so you won't miss another show again. Now I want to hear from you. What is the one thing that inspired you the most out of this interview? And what is the one extra step you are going to take today to make your dream life your real life? I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below.